All right, I did a video a while back that was another Collins mechanical filter, and I got another one. I got a nice big one this time, which will be easy to take apart, which I want to do. All right, this one's a little hard to read. It is a type F250A-67, part number 522-9039-002. It's got input output, and these are connected to coils inside, so you can hook them up either way. There's just a magnetic coil, and then the thing magnetically resonates, type mechanical resonation. Resonation? Is that a word? It is now. So let's hook it up, play with it first, and then I want to open it up and see if we can't see inside. I've never opened one of these before, so I'm excited. All right, we have it hooked up here. I've got the signal generator coming on this side, and we have the scope probe on the other side. And this is what we get out. I'm putting in a nice healthy signal, 10 volts peak to peak. We are getting out about, what, a volt and a half? So there's a lot of loss in these things. But so here's the frequency, right? So if I change the frequency, you can see the signal goes down. And as I get near 500 kilohertz, it's maximum, and then it starts going down again, okay? So we can get a little finer here. Let's see if it's down. Let's see if we can't find the absolute maximum. Right about there, 510. I'd say right about there. Yeah, right. 508 is like its maximum. It's gone down a little bit at 5, and it's gone down a little bit at 516. Yeah. So 480, 540. Yeah. So it is a nice bandpass filter. Let's open it up and see how it works. All right. I took a Dremel tool with a cutting wheel and have gone all the way around. And I think we can open this thing up. Might be a little bit still hanging on there. Let's see if I can't break. There we go. Break that loose. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Very nice. This thing's brass. This thing's brass. It's real heavy walled brass to like a 1/16 of an inch brass. Wow. All right. We do have some brass filings in there now, unfortunately, but yeah, there it is, a thing of beauty. Wow, very, very cool. I've seen the hand drawn. So if you look at the Collins filter data book, they give you a simple drawing of what's inside, and it looks a lack of that. There are these. So these two side things are coils, okay? And so we have the input and output. These are the inputs and outputs that go into these coils. So the coils creates an electromagnet, and then that goes to the device, and then it gets, this ends up being a pickup electromagnet, the opposite direction, convert magnetism into electricity. And that's the way it goes back and forth. I don't know if these things are completely symmetrical, input, output, output, input. I don't think it would matter. Maybe the resistance is different on the two sides. I'm not sure. The size wire is just a hair wire. It's so hard to see. I'm sure you probably can't see it in this particular camera view. I'll try to take some more close-ups of this thing, but yeah, it is fascinating. Now I think these things are magnets. Maybe not. Maybe not. Where's something I know is absolutely steel? Well, a wrench is steel, right? Yeah, these are not magnetic. They're just copper, and they're held on with these little wires. So there's nothing there except a bunch of metal plates, and they're spaced with this like spot welded strips of metal here for it to keep the spacing exactly correct. Let's see if it works. See if it still works. Let's get our which one is it? This one. Let's see if we can put these on here and see if it still works. And I think, let's see here, make sure I've got it the right way around. Let's see here, I want to make sure. Output, this is output. Okay, I had it hooked. There is little scratches on here that say input output, and I did have it connected this way around last time. And let me put this one over here and this one over here. So let's see if it still works. Oh, and it does. We still get a nice big signal. In fact, I think the signal's bigger. Maybe that's shielded. If you put a piece of metal over it again, yeah, I can see it's kind of dampened down when I put this cover back on it. So yeah, there you go. Woo, it's big now. Let's turn this down a bit. And let's go through resonance again. Yeah, there we go. It resonates about right there, right about there. 504, okay? Yeah, this thing is neat. I like it. I don't want to break those little wires, but I do want to get the brass shavings off of it. Let's see here. Can I do this without mucking with it too badly? Oops. Didn't want to do that. There we go. Yeah, I'll put this under the microscope and we'll take a look. We'll take a look at it. All right, here we are in the microscope. You can see these tiny little wires that go to these coils. There's a coil on one end and a coil on the other end, and those tiny little magnetic wires go in the two sides. And then in between are just a bunch of plugs of some type of metal. I don't know if it's nickel or steel, or I don't know what it is. If people know, comment below. But they just are held together by these parallel lines of wire that are kind of spot welded onto the discs, and I guess it gives it enough flexibility that it can resonate at 500 kilohertz, believe it or not. So yeah, it's pretty fascinating. It's quite heavy, surprisingly heavy. So whatever the material is, maybe it's plated brass or something. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. It's pretty kind of basic inside, but it does work. All right, so I love this old technology where you're actually using physical properties of materials to do the job. Just, I don't know, it seems very satisfying. You get lost in the transistors, and especially in ones and zeros. You get removed from reality of how the physical world works. And being a hardcore physicist, I just love things like this. There you go. That was the filter of the day. Collins, very nice.